That's the big news that we get here, Rajdeep. Do stay on hold here in India Today first with this breaking. Captain Amarinder Singh resigns as the Chief Minister of Punjab. He meets with the governor in Punjab. Just has confirmation that comes in right now that Captain Amarinder Singh has just given his resignation. He's resigned as the Chief Minister of Punjab. Rajdeep, over to you. Captain Amarinder Singh now has made his decision. He's resigned as the Chief Minister. He steps down after much rebellion and factionism that was growing between him and Navjot Singh Sidhu 4 months ahead of polls in Punjab.
That's right. Look, one of the factors that has influenced this decision is just simply that the captain had lost the majority support of the MLAs. I think the Congress High Command recognized that and has moved in a way, some would say swiftly for the kill, others will say they deferred and delayed this decision too much to the point where the party was virtually breaking apart between the Sidhu faction and the captain faction. So there are two views within the Congress, one better late than never, one it's too late, and the manner in which it's been done is going to leave a slightly sour, distasteful taste in the mouth, because the captain is someone who is expected in some form or the other to extract his pound of flesh at the right time. That's the belief, the fears that a section of the Congress has. The other view is that this was, if you didn't do it now, you would never do it, because a majority of the MLAs wanted the captain out. We are told that at that legislature party meeting, the challenge before the Congress now is who replaces him. Two names have been doing the rounds. One is that of Sunil Jakhar. If the Congress decides that they want a Hindu face to lead the party, but that seems unlikely given the history of Punjab politics. You know, this is a state which has traditionally been ruled by Sikhs and Judge Sikhs in particular. So the Congress could look for a Judge Sikh name, whether that name comes through an MLA or whether it comes through an MP. You know, there are lots of names doing the rounds among Sikh leaders of the Congress who could possibly take over as Chief Minister. Pratap Singh Bajwa, Rajya Sabha MP, has been telling his supporters that, look, don't even rule me out. So lots of contenders. The fact is, all of this, as you rightly said, is happening 4 months before the election. So it gives the Congress very little time to, or whoever becomes Chief Minister now, very little time to get the party back in order. Had this happened 6 months earlier, whoever was Chief Minister would have had a little bit more time to sort of establish his presence. Now the party has 4 months, running out of time. You have a Chief Minister who feels humiliated and therefore restive, and we don't know what the captain will really do next. And you've got a situation where the Congress itself is uncertain who exactly is the right person to replace Captain Amarinder Singh. I can only draw a contrast between what we've seen today in Punjab and exactly a week ago what we saw in Gujarat, where it appeared that the BJP decided to go in for their bloodless coup, if you want to call it that, in Gujarat, clearly aware about what its next step was. Here we are not certain yet what the Congress's plan B is. How do they now intend to ensure a smooth transition from Captain Amarinder Singh? What role, crucially, is Navjot Sidhu going to play? Because he's been the catalyst for removing Amarinder Singh, enjoys the firm support of Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. What role, therefore, will Navjot Singh Sidhu also play now when that CLP meeting is conducted in about an hour from now? So there's an element of uncertainty in the way this entire episode has unfolded, and I think that in a sense reveals the complete lack of clarity at times that the Congress has had. If you had to remove Captain Amarinder Singh, why didn't you do it 3 or 4 months ago when the MLAs at that stage also were calling for a change in leadership? These will be questions that will be raised, but for now it appears that at least one act in this unfolding Punjab drama is almost over. Captain Amarinder Singh has resigned.
Well, here are the first images, Rajdeep, that we get here from the governor's residence. We are looking at Captain Amarinder Singh, who's met with the governor of Punjab. He's just given out his resignation. Here's the first picture that we show to you on India Today, as the Chief Minister of Punjab has now stepped down. After much rebellion between the two factions, Captain Amarinder Singh and Navjot Singh Sidhu, it appears that the Congress High Command has finally decided that it's time for Captain Amarinder Singh to step down, to leave 4 months ahead of polls in Punjab. Captain Amarinder Singh, so far, so long, who enjoyed the kind of support over the last week, didn't seem to have that kind of confidence in his own MLAs. In fact, he tried to test waters as well, called in a meet of a bunch of the MLAs within the party. Very few of them showed up, clearly sending out a message that he does not enjoy the kind of confidence within his own members of the legislative party. Let me cut across to Raj.